What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. So today we are back on the exotic land of Madagascar in MX Bikes, made by JV, and I'm on a 125 today, the Husky 125. Now, the inspiration for this video is a little bit of a long story, but I'll try and cut it short for you. So I streamed the other day a round of the 125 European Masters Championship, and in preparation for that, the track list is predetermined, and there's a bunch of tracks on there that I'd never ridden on a 125 before, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a little bit of practice on each of them, see how it goes, so I'm not kind of left in the dark and have to qualify on barely any practice at all. And so I played this track, which is one of them, and it's a track that I don't think I gave much love to when I covered it upon this track's release, because there's quite a few tracks on here. I tried to rush through them all and cover all the individual ones, but this is the main MX track on Madagascar, and it can be very difficult. However, I feel like once you spin maybe 10 or so laps and you've learnt all of the corners and all the jumps, because there is a hell of a lot of blind jumps on this track. But once you've got all that out of the way and you know what speed you need to hit things at, you know what lines you need to take, I'm going to throw it out there. Bit of a wild point to make, but I think it is probably the best track to ride a 125 on in the entire game. You are pretty much tapped absolutely everywhere. There's one or two corners like these this switchback that I'm in now where you've got to slow down for a little bit. But the rest of it, absolutely balls to the wall, go absolutely pinned. And I'm praying I can do the round when this track is drawn. That 125 series is done on like a wheel. They draw it 2 hours before the race each time, and I'm looking forward to the race. I've done a lap of this in my live stream the other day, just whilst we was waiting in between qualifying and the race. Also, thank you everyone that stopped by that, by the way. It's really nice to see, because I know I've been out of the streaming game for quite some time, but it was really nice to see so many people still interested in it. I think our peak viewers at one point was, I think it was just over 200, which is really nice. Obviously, it doesn't compare to like my highest views ever, but I think that was a bit of an enigma. It was round 1 of Supercross, and I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of people in there that didn't even know what MX Bikes was, and it just must have popped up in their recommendation. I think it was about 700 or so, which for a channel my size, I'm always happy with those sort of numbers. It does me absolutely fine. So yeah, thank you everyone that stopped by. And because at the moment I'm trying to play the game a whole bunch more in preparation for Nations coming up in about a month or so, I'm just going to be streaming. I'm going to try and stream a bunch of the races that I do in the evenings. That is if I am on schedule for videos. If not, I might just record those races for a video instead. Just going to play it by ear. But yeah, thank you everyone that's been stopping by. It's been really nice, and I hope you've been appreciating the weird and wonderful thumbnails that have been going up as well. I'm torn at the moment. I'm either drawing them in paint myself by hand, because why not? Oh my god, this is a lovely vortex right there. Or I'm doing this. You know, there's those websites that do AI generated art. I've been using those as well, and just typing stuff in like motocross or dirt bike racing and seeing what comes up. And those are my live stream thumbnails. I mean, I find video thumbnails pretty easy to make. You know, if you're on a certain track, you just take a picture on the track. If it's a certain subject, you can do something that relates to that. But for streams, it's always a little bit different, especially in these series where the track draw isn't until like 2 hours before. And I like to pre-schedule my streams because it's more of a commitment thing from me, having it up maybe 4 hours ahead of time. It's like, right, people expect me to be streaming now, I'm going to stream, and it kind of gives me no excuse to back out. And then alternatively as well, you guys that might hop on YouTube throughout the day might see it and be like, oh, okay, Lynn's is streaming at this time, I'll hop on YouTube later and check it out. So that's why I pre-schedule these streams. And yeah, it's difficult making a stream thumbnail. Very hard to be a little bit original and have something appealing, so we're mixing it up. I'm using paint or AI generated stuff, and a lot of people made a comment about my lovely paint drawing. You know, I spent a whole 2-3 minutes on that, put blood, sweat and tears into it, so I'm glad everyone appreciated it. And my plan is for that 125 series, I'm going to see if I can draw like another picture every round, because I just find them funny. It's just something for me to keep myself entertained, keep myself busy. But I want to say that so the day that I'm recording this, I've got another race that same night. So it won't be last stream that I'm talking about right now. It'll be the 125 race prior to that I'm talking about ahead of time. But everyone was really, really... This sounds going to sound like I'm such an old man. Everyone was really well behaved, if that's a weird thing to say on YouTube. Most streams that I'll do, you get the weird anomalies of people where you get maybe 2 or 3 people throughout the whole stream that are just absolute dickheads, for lack of a better word. Obviously just trolling on purpose and having to get timed out and such, but I don't think there was anybody being an arsehole to anyone during the entire 3.5 hour stream, and just made me like, it was like a proud dad moment. And obviously we had 1 or 2 mods in there anyway in case stuff does go wrong. Can always count on Soru and Rum and such to be in there keeping an eye on people, and we didn't need it, and it was really, really nice, and I really, really enjoyed it as well. There's something about getting to interact with people in real time as opposed to setting a certain criteria of what I want to talk about for a video, and then I feel like in videos I can go on a bit of a rant and a ramble sometimes where there's not so much of a set structure and I have to try and find things to fill the space with. However, on streams, there's always like interaction. You guys are always asking questions. I try and be as helpful as possible when I'm not actually racing. Obviously, when I'm actually in the race, not qualifying so much, I can throw away quali laps and have a look, but when I'm actually in the motos, unless I'm a lizard, I can't really read chat at the same time as playing, and a bunch of you understand that, so thank you very much. And a bunch of you are so helpful to other people as well, that if someone asks what track I'm playing on, people will let them know or link them, even though YouTube deletes most links in chat because it hates people being helpful. I probably could change that at some point, but I don't really want to get all of the weird and wonderful stuff that will come with people sharing links in chat, so I'm going to leave that for now. Come on, right, let's get over this one. This is the biggest huck on the track on the 125. Oh, they're barely getting the front wheel over it. I mean, the rest of the jumps are big, but they're manageable. That one is the only one where I really have some trouble. And I think it's because the jump before it, it's kind of, like you can double it like I have been, or you can send it in triple, and I cannot for the life of me get the triple before it, so I think that could be a bit of a limiting factor here. Let me check up a bit here and see if I can hug this inside, because I've not been doing that at all. Well, that wasn't too bad. Oh, I've missed this one. Oh, we're still in it, it's fine. It's good. And I think I've probably spent about maybe 20 laps or so on this track now, so I'm pretty confident in being able to memorise what's coming up next, but the amount of blind jumps on this track do make it difficult, but at the same time it's so rewarding when you hit a jump blind and you get the speed just perfect without realising, just downside it, and you can just carry on about your life, carry on about your day nicely. There's a few lines on this track that I don't really see a use for. Like, there's quite a few outsides and insides in most of the corners, but most of the time there is one dominant line. Haven't worked out this corner. What's this inside? Oh, that's a bit better. I got into a bit of a different rhythm through them rollers. Most of the time I've been going outside because, in my mind, 125, rail everything as hard as you can, carry as much speed as possible. Oh, don't tuck the front end on the landing. Oh, God, that was close. That's not bad for stock suspension, is it? I'm on stock suspension right now, and I know people are going to ask. If you've asked it already, then obviously and you've stopped watching the video, I apologise, you don't know, but the amount of people asking where I've been getting my skins from recently, 99.9% of the time, the skins that I run are team skins or personal skins that aren't public, like they're not uploaded. So most of the time it's Look Creations team pack if I'm on a 250 or a 450, which they can be downloaded if you kind of look in the right places, but they're not really for public use at all. It's a bit funny about that. It's like if you're not part of a team, don't really run their skins. It's like an unwritten rule. But like this one that I'm on, for example, my mod Soru made it for me just in literally like a minute before I started my race the other day. And this, well, it's not been uploaded. It's not public. It is literally my 450 skin, but with black plates, so it fits the 125, and that's it. But if what I'll try and do is, because I know, oh, come on, Pivoso, there we go. I know that in a fair few videos, I will hop on a very random bike just to spice things up a bit, just for myself and for you guys watching, so I'm not always riding the same thing. If I remember going forwards, I will try and start linking where I get my graphics from. They'll all be from MXB mods, but obviously it saves you guys doing some digging. I usually just do that bit myself in preparation for each video. I don't think any of them will usually be of a similar quality as my team skins, because I'm very blessed that I feel like I'm well accommodated in terms of skins. I think they look really, really good. Let me hop into third person. Oh, I almost pressed my wrong keyboard. I've got my work keyboard to my left and my main PC that I'm on right now to my right. So, like, there's just, I feel like I've got a kit and boot and helmet combination for whatever bike or skin I run. Please don't crash, god damn it. This is why I don't play third person anymore, because I absolutely suck cheeks in it. And yes, you newer viewers of the channel, you might not know, I used to play third person all the time. I learnt the game in third person as well. Oh, it's a bit of a throwback now. I remember spending many hours... Oh, turn! I don't know if I'm going to go over this now. I remember spending many hours on the stock Washington track, aka Washougal, just grinding away trying to beat my friends' lap times, because I had a group of maybe 4 of us or so that all bought the game at the same time, and we were just grinding away trying to beat each other's laps. And I remember back then thinking like just barely getting under a 2 minute was really quick, and then nowadays people are running really low, like in the 40-ish second range, like 1 minute 40-ish. It's crazy. The time flies, and I forget now actually, I've been playing this game for coming up to 2 years now. That is scary. Oh my god, okay. I mean, we've done the whole YouTube thing for a year. I didn't expect to even have a quote-unquote successful channel when I started playing this game. It was never my intention. Just thought out of the blue, maybe upload a couple of laps here and there, tried the whole commentary thing out, and whilst every now and then I still feel very awkward, I still don't like listening to myself back in recordings, I'm very glad that I've done it, because it's given me a chance to experiment with things. I feel like I get treated quite well in the community. Obviously, you've got a few people that won't like you, but that goes for anybody, not just people that make YouTube videos. And then I feel like I get quite good privileges as well in terms of trying out people's custom tracks early. Maybe if they want it promoted slightly before it gets released on the shop, I get to do that as well. And I'm just, yeah, very good, very appreciative. And everyone always seems nice. I don't think I've had any, like, consistent, like, people trolling for the sake of it. I mean, I get it every now and then, and I think for the most part, I've got pretty thick skin when it comes to things like that. I've had it before where I've been laying in bed with my missus watching TV, and I've loaded up the YouTube app on my phone, started scrolling through notifications, and someone's left something a little bit unpleasant, let's say, and she'll look at it and she'll get so angry at it, and I'm just like, what? It's the internet, what do you mean? It's fine. And she gets more pissed off about comments about me than I do. But I digress. I hope you guys haven't minded me rambling during this video. I just wanted to showcase off this track a bit. Let me go back in first, because I'm not doing it much justice in third person at all. It's weird, because when I first played this, and even the first few laps on the 125 trying to get used to it, I was like, oh my god, this track doesn't flow well at all. The jumps are like all over the place in terms of size, and I feel like it was just a very stubborn way of thinking. Once you kind of sit back and analyze what lines you need to take and work out the best way around the track and how big the jumps are, it's so much fun. And I think I need to have that approach more often. I watched, what round was it? Was it round 10? That is, shit, what's the track? Is round 10 Unadilla? I'm not sure, but either way. Oh, please. I didn't race that one, but what I did do when it released is I watched Rum on Discord, and he learns the track so much different to me. Like, if I download a track for the first time, I'll still just try riding it as if I've already spent 100 laps, you know. I'll hit everything flat out. I'm just guess that I know where I'm going. I feel like I just pick a rut and try and pin it, and most likely I'll end up crashing 5, 6, 7 times on the first couple laps every single time. And Rum hits it in a different way. He will literally like roll absolutely everything, like, as you would in real life, for example. You're not going to go and send jumps that you have no idea about IRL. And it's nice, and it's quite satisfying to watch. And then what he'll do is he'll slowly pick up the pace lap after lap, and it's a really smart way of going about it. But I suppose that's why he is 1, possibly 2-time champion at the time that I'm recording this. It's not happened yet. I'm recording this on a Tuesday, and the last round of that series is on Thursday. And all he needs to do is score, I think, like a point in Moto 1 to secure the championship. I think it's a 24-point lead to Hurls, and Hurls has done an incredible job of catching up. I think he missed like the first 4 rounds, maybe. Might have been 5, I'm not sure, and has managed to catch right back up. That's really impressive. Part of me is a little bit sad that I stopped riding, because I could have had an outdoors championship in the same year as having the Supercross championship, but I feel like it's done me a world of good, because I've realised that if I do want to compete at a higher level, then I do need to put in the work. You get out what you put in. There's so many guys coming out of the woodwork that are super, super fast right now. Especially like Great Britain as well. Like Hells has come out of nowhere. We've got Cam, who's also on Ace Moto, come out of nowhere. The whole Ace Moto team, I don't know if anybody's outside this video has heard of them before. You probably see them in quite a few public lobbies. I feel like that they've been putting in the work recently. They've been grinding away, and all of them have picked up so much speed. Even people that I might not have even heard of prior to this season are coming out and like beating me in qualifying for races, and I'm just like, oh my god, am I washed up, or is everyone just like injecting themselves nowadays? And I feel like it's the latter. I feel like everyone's just on another level right now. And I've seen a few comments, which this kind of ties into like people's speed and the number of people racing. I've seen a few comments saying that bikes is in the bin at the moment, and I feel like it's a little bit the opposite. I feel like whilst there's a lot of maybe animosity or disagreements in terms of paying for races and like game updates and stuff, I feel like in terms of popularity right now, I feel like bikes is doing really, really well, and there's a lot of people playing. I've not checked the Steam numbers to double check. You guys are more than welcome to do that. But I definitely think it's bounced back. I remember the massive drop in player base when Beta 17 originally released, and the traction was all over the place and the physics were a bit boofed before they got fixed. And I feel like it's slowly been coming back round. I mean, in the 125 race that I done the other day, bearing in mind it's not like it's not a series with a particularly massive prize pool or anything like that. I think first place in the whole series is getting a copy of Motocross Chasing the Dream. So what's that, like £12, $15 ish? So nothing crazy at all. But there was 149 people signed up for that 125 race, which I think is really, really good, and especially considering it was at 8 PM UK time on a weekday. So that's usually around 2-ish, give or take an hour for the Americans. So not many people from the US would be able to play it, and that's where most of the MX Bikes player base is the US. It's absolutely huge. I mean, you guys make up maybe I think like 30-ish% of my viewers. I know that's probably just because you like hearing how poorly I pronounce words compared to you. Bottle of water, and in it, bruv. Mom, no, it's not mum. It's mum. My one's mum, not mom. Chips. What else we got? Don't know. Big up the Queen. That's it. That's what I can say. And it's just quite impressive to me that we've got that many people. And I hope it continues. You know, I mean, nobody enjoys doing races where there's maybe like 20 people signed up, because you always get people leaving during the race. You might end with 10 people or so. I like having full gates. That 125 race was a prime example of that. We started the race with 35 people, I believe, and I think the majority of people did finish. You get a couple of people that might have had their games disconnected. I'm in the wrong gear. I am bogging my ass off. But for the most part, it was really good. And I find that people are a lot more knowledgeable at the moment as well. So again, in that 125 race the other day, the lappers were so good. I only had, I think, one guy that was a little bit oblivious, and he absolutely decapitated me on one of the jumps and landed on my back, which was probably the most rage-inducing part of the night. The rest of it all went really, really well. What I might do is, because I know obviously there's going to be a bunch of you that haven't seen that stream or those races, the Moto 2 in that race was, I don't put this lightly because I've done a lot of races, I think it was my best, my fastest and most intense race that I've ever had on this game. It was 20 minutes plus 1 lap of being absolutely chased down by the fastest person at the moment, which I consider to be Hurls. And the gap was never above 3 seconds for an entire 20-minute race. I think we both crashed 1 time each out of the entire thing, thankfully both on the same lap. Mine was just a stupid mistake, and I think he got messed up by a lapper straight after he passed me. And I've just ran out of fuel. That doesn't happen in these videos. Oh my god, I've been recording for 19 minutes. I've been waffling, haven't I? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to love you and leave you at this point. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Oh god, what I was going to ask is, if you want me to upload that Moto 2 as an individual video on the channel, I certainly can do. I didn't record at the same time as streaming, but I can always go back to the stream and re-record it and upload it. I'll see, and maybe I'll just use it as like a rainy day video if I haven't got anything else planned. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, as long and ranty as it might be. 100% give this track a try on the KTM or the Husky 125. I think they're the best ones and the fastest ones, and just learn the track and learn the size of the jumps and what lines to take, and I promise you, you will enjoy it. It's so fun, to me at least. Oh, I can only speak on my own experiences. Yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is you're up to, and until I catch you in the next video, peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king, honestly, I can't complain.